Drishti IAS is pleased to revise its special program Mastering Mains Answer Writing, targeting answer writing in the UPSC and State Services Main Examination. We will be alternatively covering GS Papers 1, 2 and 3 through this program. For GS Paper 4, please watch our program Ethics, Definitions and Concepts. The link for it is mentioned in the description below. So what is the structure of the program? We begin by looking at a question, narrow it down to the syllabus and assess the weightage of the topic. We begin by learning on how to approach the question, structure the answer, and then write the actual answer. We finally conclude the episode by looking at questions asked in the previous year examinations. Let us look at the question which we will be discussing today. The frequency of urban floods is increasing over the years. Discuss the reasons for urban floods. In this light, discuss how India can reduce the risk during such events. The question can be narrowed down to disaster management, which is based out of GS Paper 3. The importance of this topic over the years can be assessed from the graph that has been displayed. Shifting towards how to approach the question. In general, there are two things we must understand with respect to a question. A, the underlying theme of the question, and B, what is or are being asked about that theme. Now let us look at the question again. The frequency of urban floods is increasing over the years. Discuss the reasons for urban floods. In this light, discuss how India can reduce the risk during such events. The underlying theme of this question is floods. About this theme, we have to discuss the reasons for the rise in frequency of urban floods and measures India should take to reduce the risk. To answer the given question, let us first understand the meaning of the command word discuss. Discuss simply means to cover broadly, mentioning strengths, weaknesses and positives and negatives. Mention causes and consequences as well. Now let's focus on how to structure the answer. The first part of the answer will be an introduction, which will include a brief explanation of the term floods. The second part of the answer, that is the body, will have two subparts. A, natural factors responsible for the rise in frequency of urban floods. B, anthropological factors responsible for the rise in frequency of urban floods. Lastly, in our conclusion, suggest measures India should take to reduce the risk. Now, we try to write the actual answer. But before we commence, we would like to make it clear that the answer provided here is a representative answer. That is how the actual answer may look like. It can be adapted or modified as per your own natural style of writing, whether paragraph form or short sentences or bullets or diagrams. We have also taken certain liberties with the word limit by including certain additional information in the answer for your comprehensive understanding. So without much ado, let us write. The question: the frequency of urban floods is increasing over the years. Discuss the reasons for urban floods. In this light, discuss how India can reduce the risk during such events. Floods are the most frequent type of natural disaster and occur when an overflow of water submerges land that is usually dry. In the last 2 years, there have been devastating floods in Bihar, Brahmaputra Plains in Assam and West Bengal, urban flooding in Chennai and erratic flooding during monsoons in central India. Shifting focus on reasons for the rise in frequency of urban floods. In India, the frequency of floods has been on the rise in urban areas due to a mix of anthropological factors and natural factors. Natural factors: meteorological factors, heavy rainfall, cyclonic storms and thunderstorms cause water to flow quickly through paved urban areas and impound in low-lying areas. Hydrological factors: overbank flow channel networks, occurrence of high tides impeding the drainage in coastal cities. Climate change due to various anthropogenic events has led to extreme weather events. Anthropological factors. Unplanned urbanization blocks natural drainage pathways through construction activity and encroachment on catchment areas, riverbeds and lake beds that lead to flooding. Lakes, which can store the excess water and regulate the flow of water, have been converted for development purposes, which has increased risk of floods. Unauthorized colonies and excess construction reduces infiltration due to paving of surfaces, which decreases ground absorption and increases the speed and amount of surface flow. Improper waste management system and clogging of stormwater drains because of silting, accumulation of non-biodegradable waste and construction debris. Moving on to the measures India should take to reduce the risk. Way forward. To reduce these risks, following measures can be adopted. Desilting of the drainage system should be done by local bodies before onset of monsoon. Solid waste disposal reduces the chance of choking of drainage systems. Wetlands need to be protected near urban habitats as they also act as natural barriers against any surge in water level. Rainwater harvesting reduces the load of excess rainwater and helps in mitigating urban floods. The idea of a sponge city can be tried on an experimental basis as it makes cities more permeable, which can hold and use the water which falls upon it. Urbanization needs to be carefully planned. Planned urbanization and water management infrastructure helps in reducing wastage of water and allows better utilization of water in a planned manner. Now, we look at the questions asked in the previous year examinations. In 2020, the following question was asked. Discuss the recent measures initiated in disaster management by the Government of India departing from the earlier reactive approach. In 2019, the following question was asked. Vulnerability is an essential element for defining disaster impacts and its threat to people. How and in what ways can vulnerability to disasters be characterized? Discuss different types of vulnerability with reference to disasters. In 2018, the following question was asked. Describe various measures taken in India for disaster risk reduction before and after signing Sendai Framework for DRR 2015 to 2030. How is this framework different from Hyogo Framework for Action 2005? In 2016, the following question was asked. With reference to National Disaster Management Authority guidelines, discuss the measures to be adopted to mitigate the impact of recent incidents of cloudburst in many places of Uttarakhand. And lastly, in 2015, the following question was asked. The frequency of earthquakes appears to have increased in the Indian subcontinent. However, India's preparedness for mitigating their impact has significant gaps. Discuss various aspects. With this, we conclude today's episode of Mastering Mains Answer Writing. Until next time, stay safe and thank you. To watch our videos in Hindi, subscribe to our Hindi YouTube channel Drishti IAS.